Here's to feeling good all the time.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
Hey, you know what would make a great coffee table book? A coffee table book about coffee tables.
I don't have a square to spare. I can't spare a square.
But I don't want to be a pirate!
Hello and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 108 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinny.
Hello, Vinny.
We could have danced all night.
Yeah, we could have. How you doing?
Good. My alternate opening, which I always like to run by you and you always shoot down, was, wouldn't you like to listen to a podcast by two guys like us, please? But I thought better of it, so I just put it in there now.
You double dipped. You got both of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice work. Last week, we went over some incredible Seinfeld spinoff ideas, didn't we, Vinny?
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, our listeners sent a bunch of ideas to us. We love them. We actually asked for more to go over this week, but sorry to report, we're actually going to hold off another week to talk about them.
The first of many disappointments on this week's show.
Yes, sorry about that, guys. We just have too much to cover this week, so we're going to hold off 1 week. But in the meantime, let's discuss some Seinfeld news.
Hey, I got news for you.
Great news. All right, I got news. You ready?
I don't really know if this falls under the news category, but I'm going to be hosting 5 Seinfeld trivia nights in the month of February. What is this, Rue? February?
Wow.
Sorry. All over the place right now. I just wanted to announce a few dates and locations for February. I've talked about trivia many times on the podcast before. It's through a company called Trivia AD. You can find them on Facebook and Twitter, triviaad.com. But the events I'm going to be hosting, you've got February 2nd at Mr. Dennehy's, which is in Greenwich Village, February 10th at Duke's on 37th Street. That's on the east side, Midtown. February 18th, you've got Gotham Bistro, which is on the west side in Midtown. And then you've got February 2nd at Mad Dog and Beans, which I've never been to before. It's in the financial district. And then on the 29th, Leap Day. Is it Leap Day? I know it's leap year, but is it a leap day?
Probably.
Okay. Leap Day, the 29th at Maxwell's in Hoboken. So
That's a lot of Seinfeld for 1 month.
Oh, yeah. And if you can't make any of those dates, we have other Seinfeld nights going on, too. I'm just not hosting those.
Oh, but you got to go to a Matt-hosted one.
I think a lot of people disagree with you on that one.
Do you get Seinfelded out doing all those dates in a row?
No, never.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
On top of talking about it with your best friend and running a podcast dedicated to Seinfeld?
Sometimes this podcast, I get stretched a little thin, but trivia is this really nice event where you can connect. I mean, we're connecting with people through the podcast, but when you connect with people face to face and you get to actually riff off of them, it really invigorates. You feel like a phoenix rising. What is it?
Over Arizona.
Yeah, whatever. I'll include a link in our show notes if you want to check out more. But also wanted to move on to something that caught my attention last week. It was the Comedians in Cars episode with Garry Shandling.
I'm not familiar with this program.
Did you watch this episode?
Well, Adam Dietz on Facebook called me out, so I had to watch it. For spite.
Wait, so I beg you every week to watch Comedians. You don't watch it. A listener calls you out and you do it.
Nobody talks about Vinny like this. Nobody.
Well, what'd you think?
Oh, it was awesome. People even commented how heartfelt it was, and it was to a T. I was moved seeing these guys and how they went all the way back to the 70s and the 80s, working out their material at the Comedy Store. You saw the old black and white photos, and they really do love each other, and they've grown together, and their careers kind of paralleled each other, as they said in the episode. So it was a nice foray for me to get back into Comedians in Cars. So I'm back, baby.
Good. Well, it was just really heartfelt when they went back to the Comedy Store out in LA, and they're just walking that hallway with all the black and white photos of comedians, most of them long gone. It just, I don't know, it just felt really special.
Yeah.
Like these veteran comedians were kind of reliving their glory days, you know?
Well, you could call it that. But also, you know how we talked about how Jerry's kind of not a facade, but Jerry has this kind of demeanor that he puts out there. and we don't really know the real Jerry, you kind of get to see a little bit of like a glint of real Jerry when he's dealing with a true buddy, Garry Shandling.
Yeah.
Yes?
Absolutely.
Yes?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And I'm like just now throwing in little elements from the show, but the bit when Gary's on stage at the Comedy Store telling stories to Jerry, and he talks about there only being one guy in the audience in front of him, and he's like, I'm singling this guy out. So I said, if you're gonna sit in front of me, I'm gonna single you out. So move over. So the guy moves, and then Gary goes ahead and pick up the mic stand and puts it right in front of the guy to where he moved and continues to
make fun of him,
berate him. And I lost it. That was so good, and it made me wish that I had followed Garry Shandling growing up with his HBO series and his comedy specials.
Oh yeah, I'm not that familiar with his career.
Nor am I.
But I do like him. I like him a lot, and I was really excited to see this episode because you knew that they had that connection. Mm-hmm. One of the other big highlights from the Comedians in Cars episode was they returned to CBS Studios and they visit the old backlot, which is used in just a bunch of TV shows. Like it shows up a lot on Brooklyn Nine-Nine whenever they're running through the New York streets. I always see them run by Elaine's old apartment, the stairs leading up.
Yeah,
but they visited the backlot, the street set, and then they visited the actual. I forget the number. Was it stage 9, I think?
I think it was stage 9.
Where they used to perform Seinfeld. Like you'd have Jerry's apartment, and then as you're looking at it to the right would be Monk's. Do you know what show is there currently?
I was going to ask you because I didn't recognize the set. I don't know the new shows that well. But Gary and I want to say Gary and Larry, but it's Gary and Jerry were whispering because a show was being filmed at the time, but they were doing this mock little episode on this empty set, and it was really sweet to see them, go back and forth. And what if she dates both of us? Yeah. They were doing that kind of shtick, and it was really cute.
You and I have talked about many times how awesome it would have been to be in the audience during a taping.
Oh, yeah,
you can kind of imagine that.
We're getting closer.
But this is just a fantastic episode. We talk about Comedians in Cars every once in a while on the show, and this is definitely the episode to watch if you haven't seen an episode yet. Just fantastic. This coming week, by the time this episode of Seincast is released, we'll have Sebastian Maniscalco. All right,
you said it like that last time, okay. And it's still right now.
He's the next guest, which means that Will Ferrell will be the final guest for the season the week after. So
not bad.
I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about those episodes too. This is definitely the highlight, though, of the season and definitely the series. Now, Vinny, probably the biggest news to come out of this past week was on February 6th, Larry David will be hosting Saturday Night Live.
That's not Big Matt. That is huge. Yeah. Huge news. Finally, the mothership is calling him home. But yeah, how exciting is this? You get an hour with LD doing sketch comedy, and somebody already had the bright idea. Can we please get the sketch that never aired, or that was the last sketch to air in the morning, the architect bit?
What was the premise of that skit? Do you remember?
I know it had to do with a security guard having to stand, right? Mm-hmm. And that ended up becoming a plot point in one of the episodes.
I feel like from a year ago, one of our listeners posted on Facebook that skit. It aired at 12:55 a.m.
You're right, they did.
The only skit that Larry got on the air, and I have seen it. I want to say that Harry Shearer was in the skit.
That sounds right, and I remember it didn't get any laughs.
No.
But you could see it had the inklings of a Larry David penned sketch.
Yeah, I'll try to find that link, and we'll definitely post it on Facebook if I don't get it in our show notes. But that would be great if they redid that skit, and if they also, this is such a dumb idea, but I want them to somehow bring in the Howdy Doody skits from Fridays onto Saturday Night Live.
What floor, Mr. Doody? Right this way, Mr. Doody.
Yeah, they're more than just that elevator skit, I was on YouTube, and there's Larry plays a cop in one scene where a lady's like, officer, a man has been making lewd comments to me. And he's like, oh, no one's going to say something like that to a woman on my beat. No, sir. And he turns, and he's like, oh, Mr. Doody, say whatever you want, Mr. Doody. Please, Mr. Doody, whatever you want, Mr. Doody.
I cannot wait.
Yeah,
and there's got to be a Seinfeld and or Curb parody in there, right? It has to be.
I would think so. I mean, the most obvious is Bernie Sanders. I'm sure they're going to milk that one to death.
That too, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is really cool. Larry David worked one season as a writer on SNL, as most of our listeners know. back in the 80s. And as you pointed out, he only got one skit on the air. Actually, the episode, what was it? The Revenge with, I always use the wrong name, Rick Levitan?
Yep.
When George quits working for Rick Barr Associates and he decides to just come back the next day pretending he never quit, that was inspired by Larry David quitting SNL and then just showing up the next day. So,
also, Larry David has appeared on SNL twice this year as Bernie Sanders. So a lot of FaceTime for LD in the media lately.
Yeah, this is going to be fantastic. So February 6th is Larry David's, I guess, debut appearance hosting SNL, which is going to be pretty cool. We'll definitely cover that. We might have to dedicate like a whole special to like break down each skit.
Oh, yeah. That I'm excited for.
But in the meantime, you can email us at seincast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. Also, if you'd like to support the show in any way, you can jump on to iTunes, leave us a rating and review. You can also donate to the show, which is a huge help. Just check out our Tumblr page and look for the tab that says donate. Thanks again to everyone who has donated to the show thus far.
Thank you.
Vinny, what episode do we got this week?
We have episodes, Matthew, 18 and 19 of season 5, The Raincoats, a two-parter, written by Tom Gamble, Max Pross, Larry David, and Jerry Seinfeld. It was directed by Tom Schronis and originally aired April 28th, 1994.
There you go. We've had a few hour-long episodes on Seincast before.
The Boyfriend
comes to mind. The Pilot.
And then the gray area, The Wallet Watch.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or Pitch Ticket. Yeah,
Pitch Ticket, that's the one. It could go either way.
What we're going to do this week is we're just going to discuss part 1 today. We're going to try to get part 2 out tomorrow, which is Friday. If you don't see it show up on Friday, look for it, sometime over the weekend. Sorry to keep you waiting. We just don't know our release schedule yet. I think it's interesting, at least, that we have 4 writing credits this week. That might be the first time we've had that many.
I think you're right.
I'm thinking of like Larry Charles, Elaine Pope, and Larry David. Maybe we've had 3, but to have 4 is pretty interesting.
And all home run hitters right here.
Yeah, big time. Anyways, a little bit of trivia for this week, mainly centered around Schindler's List, which features heavily in this week's episode. I thought, the original idea was, all right, we need Jerry and his girlfriend Rachel to be making out in an inappropriate setting. What's the most inappropriate setting? Oh, Schindler's List. There you go. But it actually goes back a year or 2 from that, doesn't it, Vinny?
Yeah. When Steven Spielberg was filming Schindler's List in Europe, he became so depressed at the end of film days when he'd be back in his hotel that he actually asked Alan Horn, one of the Castle Rock founders, if he could send him some Seinfeld episodes to kind of lift his spirits because it was such a depressing, and rightfully so, experience on the set making that film. So he needed something with a little bit of levity. So of course he seeks out Seinfeld tapes.
Right.
And that did cheer him up when he'd be back in his hotel room at night.
I'm laughing only because I just love how it doesn't end there. Because it makes sense that Steven Spielberg would need some humor in his life, but for Seinfeld then to do a joke about that.
Yeah, a parody in a way of Schindler's List is in this episode. Steven Spielberg being such a big fan, and then I didn't even pick up on it, but we'll see later in the episode Aaron, the character of Aaron, being equated to Oskar Schindler.
Yes, big parody, very similar to the like Midnight Cowboy ending of the Mom and Pop Store, and I think we've talked about another episode that ended in a parody.
Don't ever go against the family, Jerry.
Godfather.
Yes.
Yeah, the only other bit of trivia here is that this episode, The Raincoats, was originally supposed to be a half hour, but at some point early on in the writing process, they decided to expand it to an hour, which would make sense why you've got 4 writing credits. I'm sure Larry and Jerry really helped stretch this one out.
In one of the interviews with Larry, he talks about when you have about 30 minutes worth of material, you have to make a decision whether you cut down to 22 minutes for a single episode or do you bulk it up so you can get to a 42-minute episode. And I don't know what was the issue here. Did they have enough for a 2-part show, or did they not just want to cut all this good stuff that they have? Because there's no fluff here, as we'll see.
Yeah, we've gotten The Boyfriend, The Pilot, And that other like kind of ticket pitch hour-long episode. Out of all those episodes, this one personally seems to drag in some storylines.
Really?
For me, it's mainly the Costanza side of things.
Okay.
Just like with the close, like I'm sort of giving my review early. I don't know why. That to me just always seems a little dull for me, like a little repetitive. I love the Aaron stuff and the Jerry and Rachel stuff, and especially when Newman gets introduced, it's just fantastic. But they do a pretty good job, I think, turning a half-hour episode into an hour. It's not terrible by any means, but to me, it's weaker than the other ones I just mentioned.
One other thing we forgot to mention was Larry David's inspiration for coming up with this idea of necking during Schindler's List.
Right.
He was sitting in Temple one day, and he does go on to say how Temple's a little bit of a boring event. So his mind was racing and wandering, and he thought, what would happen if I reached over and touched my wife's breast? And that was all he needed for the inspiration for this episode. And I love that because he's being real, he's being honest, and that's what is going through his mind at that moment.
I really feel as human beings, we need more training in our basic social skills. Conversational distance. Don't you hate these people that talk to you? They talk into your mouth like you're a clown at a drive-thru. And handshakes is the worst. There's absolutely no guidelines for handshakes. You don't need people too strong, too weak. Sometimes they give you the three-quarter handshake, just the fingers. Early release, late release. Sometimes people will dispute your release. You've let go, they're hanging on. I have actually said to people, hey, the handshake is over. Too many pumps, coming in too high, too sweaty from too far away. Sometimes a guy will give you a strong grip, late release, and pull you in for the too close conversation. To him, I say that's 3 strikes, you're out.
Vinny, I don't want to steal your thunder here, but...
Go ahead, 'cause you're going to say what I want to say.
Okay, because this, everyone, I'm putting the flag in the ground. This is my favorite Jerry Seinfeld stand-up ever to be featured on the show Seinfeld.
I think you're right. I think he's right, people. One of his best stand-up bits of all time. My favorite part is it's actually a visual gag when he backs up on stage and even the spotlight can't even keep up with him. He's like coming in from too far away and his hands fully extended. Yeah. And that also got me thinking back to college. Matt, you remember when we'd see each other and you'd give me this enthusiastic, hey, and you'd go to reach out and shake my hand, and I'm thinking I'm going to get a nice firm handshake. And as soon as I go to grasp your hand, I get the wet fish. And I get just the fingers. Which always cracked me up. And but it reminds me of this bit as well.
It's a dumb, annoying, fun joke to play on people. It's going for that handshake and then just relax the hand completely.
I always catch my dad off guard with it, and he always cracks up too. So you've passed that along. So
Good.
Thank you. One other thing I noticed with this stand-up, and it's again visual. Did you notice his hair? He's got that full 80s comedian mullet going on.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
I don't remember that from the previous week.
He needs a haircut. As you were saying earlier, though, Vinny, just, too many pumps, coming in too high. Like, he's just knocking them out of the park, each one. It's definitely a scripted, rehearsed bit here. And you can't always deliver with those. I mean, that's a lot of work goes into that. But
this one is honed.
Mm-hmm, completely.
And,
it's just fantastic.
And they're like bullet points, and each one is so relatable. You've experienced too many pumps, coming in too high, too sweaty, too far. Somebody disputing your release. I've experienced all those things, and that's what makes this probably one of, if not his best stand-up. It
sounds, we don't have a blooper to back it up, but it sounds like that final line. Sometimes a guy will give you a strong grip, late release, and pull you in for the too close conversation. Mm-hmm. That is just pure Seinfeld, but whenever he says that, I assume he's gonna, mess it up at some point. Oh. Just because it feels like such a tongue twister. It reminds me a little bit of the line with Tim Watley, where I think this guy, re-gifted, then he de-gifted, and now he's using a Super Bowl invite for a Spring Bowl. What is it? Oh,
Springboard into a Super Bowl sex romp.
Something like that. I can't even do it. It's just brilliant writing. Anywho, first scene of the episode, we are at Monk's. We're dropped right into the middle of a dilemma. Jerry hasn't spent any time with this girl he's dating, Rachel. They haven't spent time together in weeks, actually, since he's been on the road. He's getting a little, backed up.
Do you recall Jerry used that same phrasing to describe Kramer when he missed his chance to go to the bathroom in the pilot?
Oh.
So it can go
Yeah.
both ways.
Oh, you're right.
That's something.
You're right.
I don't know.
Well, now Morty and Helen are on their way to visit Jerry for 3 days before they leave for Paris. Jerry can't go over to Rachel's because she lives with her parents. Hey, maybe this will become a cool thing, living with your parents.
Yeah, then maybe baldness will catch on. Things will all be turning your way.
Well, George does think baldness will catch on. When aliens come down, who do you think they're going to relate to? Who's going to be the first one getting to tour the ship?
The Baldies.
Yeah. Now, Vinny, with all due respect, officer, you do shave your head.
That is a look I've cultivated.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time, in these past couple episodes, we've seen Jerry kind of lay into George with a nice zinger. Mm-hmm. And this is going back to those old days of him kind of poking fun at his best friend. It's good humored, but it's still at George's expense.
Right. And I've never made fun of you for being bald. No. But if I ever do, it's only a Seinfeld joke.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I welcome it.
All right. Well, George tells Jerry that his parents want Jerry's parents over for dinner before they leave town, which I think is an interesting proposition. You know what I'm talking about?
I got you.
Okay. Since they've never really shared a scene together, I don't think the parents, the Costanzas and the Seinfelds, have ever been in the same room.
You're right.
Jerry's happy with the idea because that means he'll get some alone time with Rachel in the apartment, which is kind of funny. I assumed that Jerry would be invited to the Costanzas as well.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Just the parents getting together, I guess.
Why not Jerry? But George would be there, right?
Yeah, if he's living there.
Huh.
2 people enter Monk's and approach the booth. You've got this guy, Alec, who Jerry and George seem to know. Well, they definitely know. And then there's this boy, Joey.
Hey, guys. Hey, Alec.
Hey, Alec.
This is Joey. Hey, Joey, how you doing? Hey, listen. I was wondering if either one of you guys would be interested in doing some work for the Big Brother program. I'm kind of running the local chapter. What do you say, George?
Well, Wouldn't you like to be a big brother to someone like me? Please?
Well, sure, Joey, sure. I would be thrilled. That's great, George. Thanks a lot. I'll get in touch with you.
Wouldn't you like to be a big brother?
Yeah, all right, Joey. That's enough. Let's go. See ya.
What happened?
What can I do? Did you see the mug on that kid?
Wouldn't you like to pass the ketchup to someone like me? Please?
I like that gag that Alec has Joey trained to deliver his wouldn't you like to take a chance on someone like me? That speech.
Yeah, right, Joey. That's enough.
Yeah. It's almost like he's got like a stereo with Sarah McLachlan queued up to get George to give in.
Oh man, yeah. It's a interesting arc here, I think, with George and the Big Brothers. It kind of reminds me a little bit of The Old Man. It's this really good cause, people giving their time to help other people, but this time it feels like the appropriate response. I
love you, because that's exactly what I was going to say. This is what I was expecting in The Old Man, is them being guilted or blackmailed or somehow reluctantly going into doing this. George has his hands tied and has to say yes, otherwise he'll look like a jerk.
Right.
But in The Old Man, they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart, which is not Seinfeldian.
Any chance we can bring up The Old Man and criticize
and crap on it, yeah.
We'll take it.
Alec is played by actor Dorian Wilson, who's been in several television series, single episodes here and there. Home Improvement, Murphy Brown, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Martin, he was a cast regular on the show Dream On, as well as had a recurring role on Sister Sister. He was in 2 episodes of Friends. He was on Living Single, You Got Served, and the TV show The Parkers. Then we have Joey, who's played by Jason Maneri, and he only has 4 acting credits. The Seinfeld one was his first, but he was in Dave's World, See Jane Run, and then, listen to this title, Mad Boy, I'll Blow Your Blues Away, Be Mine.
Oh, man.
I think it's a short, but, man, that's a mouthful.
Went straight to video.
That makes us the premiere.
There you go. Next scene, we are on the sidewalk here. Jerry and George are just walking back, I guess, to his apartment. Maybe they're talking about how the interviews used to be in the middle of Single Jeopardy. Now they do it right after Single Jeopardy. Much better, right?
Oh, no comparison. I can't ever remember to when the interviews weren't after Single Jeopardy. So that must have been before my time.
I've been watching Jeopardy with my wife almost every night for the past year or so, and the interviews are in the middle of Single Jeopardy.
Oh, they went back.
So yeah, so you start Single Jeopardy, go to commercial, come back, interviews, finish up Single Jeopardy, commercials, Double Jeopardy, commercials, finale, or final round. Final Jeopardy. I do watch the show. But it made me wonder, did they screw up in the Seinfeld episode? Did George have it backwards? Or did Jeopardy go back to putting the interviews in the middle of Single Jeopardy? What's going on here?
I would like to think it's probably a retooling of the format. Mm-hmm. You know, they went forward, and now they're going back to the old days. Alex
Trebek was just like, let's retool. He shut down the lights. Anyways, George suddenly gets a wild idea. A wild idea. Jerry's parents are going to Paris, so George tells Alec that he has to go for an undetermined amount of time. Then George buys postcards and has Helen and Morty mail them from Paris.
What about little Joey?
Who?
He's probably better off.
Yeah. Doesn't this feel like a Curb plotline? Spoilers again for season 8, but remember Larry David and Michael McKean's character when Michael McKean was always trying to get Larry to commit to something, and Larry was
That's
like,
true.
I got to do this, I got to do that, and eventually boiled down to him saying, I'm going to New York.
You're right, absolutely right.
You know what I'm talking
Didn't even
about?
think of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next scene, we're in Jerry's apartment, and George is explaining his plan to Helen and Morty, who have arrived, that they'll need to mail the postcards in Paris, buy French stamps as well.
He'll reimburse them, of course.
I love when Helen asks, hey, George, why do you want to get out of this? And Jerry's response,
because George is a deeply disturbed individual. More zinging. Riffing.
This is the best Jerry, where we've brought it up before, he's kind of outside the bubble, just observing people, making fun of them. Mm-hmm. Not really involved in the chaos of someone's life. Kramer enters and borrows some of Helen's hand lotion. This made me think this was getting into that Uva thing.
Wait till Uma gets a load of this Uva.
Yeah, that's a different episode, though, right?
But at least it tracks that Kramer has a affinity for hand lotions and moisturizers.
True. He really likes the hand lotion. It's from Saks Fifth Avenue in Miami, which he'll remember, of course, if he's ever in Florida.
Yeah, or if he's ever on Fifth Avenue here in New York City.
Another zing!
Knocking him out of the park.
Maybe when Kramer moves down to Florida in the 9th season.
That'd be perfect. There's another spinoff.
Just Kramer buying lotion?
Yeah, Kramer on Saks.
Well, Morty admires Kramer's vintage pants, which Kramer explains, hey, they're from a used clothing store called Rudy's. See, when people like Morty die, the widows bring in wardrobes and they make a bundle, and this, of course, catches George's attention since Frank has a ton of old clothes in the attic.
The expression on Morty's face when Kramer says "people like you die" is very good and worth revisiting.
Doesn't he just look off to the side with a blank expression?
Well, he realizes Kramer's signaling him out directly.
Yeah. Poor Morty.
Also, we're about to see George's sixth sense in action.
The idea of George wanting to get Frank's clothes and cash them in, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Kramer struggles to open the door with his greasy hands. He eventually leaves.
He uses his suit jacket in order to grasp the door because it's so slippery from the lotion, which is a great little gag. And the dive that Kramer takes is excellent.
Insane. Well, after Kramer leaves, George lets the Seinfelds know, hey, my parents want to have them over for dinner. Or not my parents, but his parents want to have them over for dinner before they leave for Paris. They're making paella. And George suggests, hey, what about tonight? But Helen sort of, tenses up and says, we have plans already.
What plans?
We have plans.
Where'd you get plans?
We have plans. Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe they'll get together. Maybe. But George seems a little confused, sort of suspicious, unsure why the Seinfelds aren't committing. But when he heads out, he also has trouble, I think, with the door handle as well.
He does grab it, and it's a little slippery, and he's taken aback by it, and the audience picks up on it.
Yeah, it's great. Anyways, after he leaves, Jerry finds out that his parents don't have any plans. In fact, they can't stand the Costanzas. Oh, hey, can't stand yous.
Yeah. Another joke comes back, which is great.
There you go. They could have used that. they've always disliked Frank and Estelle, especially because they're always fighting. It's like being in an asylum. Are you surprised to hear this?
No.
Like, it makes total sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Jerry's joke about not, I didn't think you, referring to his parents, could detect abnormalities among your own kind, which is a funny little joke, but absolutely everybody knows the Costanzas are off their rocker.
Mm-hmm. I just always assumed that older people always got along. They just always found a way.
They were mature about it.
Yeah, but that is not true whatsoever.
Not with the Seinfelds and the Costanzas.
Well, just in general, like I think some of the most immature people I know are older people or can be older people.
Yeah.
But anyways, the intercom buzzes and it's Elaine with her boyfriend, Aaron. We adore Elaine. Yeah, no worries there. Jerry warns them, though, hey, she's got a new boyfriend and he's a bit of a close talker. And what do you think he means by that?
You'll see.
This is Aaron.
Hello, Aaron.
Hello, Aaron. So how long are you folks in town?
3 more days, and then we're off to Paris.
We're going with the select charter group.
I love France. I was just there last year. In fact, I still have an envelope full of French francs. I'll give them to you.
Oh, we can't take money.
Oh, no. It's a gift from us.
Oh, that is so nice, Aaron. Isn't he nice? So listen, has Jerry been showing you a good time?
No, I haven't.
I have a friend who works at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. How'd you like a behind-the-scenes tour?
Really? You could do that?
Easily.
It wouldn't be any trouble?
Of course not.
When could we go?
How about right now?
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, let me get my coat.
Elaine, what do you say?
Well, I don't think so, Aaron. I have plans.
Oh. How about you, Jerry?
I'm swamped.
You sure? Could examine the artwork up close.
Maybe I'll try and catch up with you.
Oh, no, that'll happen.
All right, we're off.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good time.
Bye.
See everybody later.
Okay.
That scene, just from start to finish, brought a smile to my face. And the way they blocked it when you saw Aaron get in the face of each respective Seinfeld parent, and you can see them lean back. They naturally record. Jerry's the only one who kind of holds his ground.
That scene always made me crack up when Jerry and Aaron are just like 2 inches from each other.
The tips of their noses are about to touch.
Mm-hmm. How does Jerry get away with not recoiling? I just think of the kind of guy he is. Maybe he's been in this situation. Well, he knows he's a close talker, so maybe he's prepared for it. I'm going to stand my ground. But wonderful decision, too, on Tom Sharonis' part or whoever's to have the camera cut closer to them.
Yes.
I'm swamped. Yeah, so many great moments in this scene. I actually am going to say this right now. I won't save it till later. Aaron is going to trump my previous favorite boyfriend of Tony the Mimbo. And even before that, Joel Rifkin. We really liked him as well. I think Aaron is my new favorite boyfriend.
I have that in my notes as well. One of the most, if not the most infamous of Elaine's boyfriends. My name is Judge. Judge Reinhold plays Aaron, the close talker. He's been in Stripes, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Gremlins, each of the Beverly Hills Cop movies, Ruthless People, The Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3. He played himself in an episode of the animated Clerks series. Did you know that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I did not. And one of my favorite roles he's been in is he also plays himself in Arrested Development. It's a parody of himself, but still, he plays Judge Reinhold as a judge in a TV courtroom series.
Right. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't know Judge Reinhold, especially if you're a fan of film from the 80s and 90s? I don't know, one of my favorite guest stars. There's something about that expression, that smile, and those sweet eyes. It sounds like I'm in love with him. I might be, but how can you have that staring you in the face?
It's funny you mentioned that because Julia, in interviews, she tells the story that, in recent years, she bumped into Judge Reinhold at a party, and she found herself leaning back, anticipating him kind of bearing down on her. And she said, his face is so shiny and smiley and close. And she then later realized that was from the show, that she anticipated him, closing in on her. But he really kept a comfortable, appropriate distance.
Yeah. That's kind of sad. He's like, why didn't Julia want to talk to me?
Just bit off that one.
When we left that clip, Elaine is just baffled why Aaron would take Jerry's parents to a museum. Maybe he was just trying to be nice. Now, I'm not just quoting Vinny. Have you ever heard of someone doing something like this?
No. I aspire to be a nice guy, and I've never conceived of taking someone's parents that I've just met out for a night on the town. It's certifiably weird.
Yeah. I've met your parents a few times. If we were in a situation, no, that's different actually.
Where's this going, Matt?
No, I could take them out somewhere.
And it's not even your significant other's parents. It's a friend of hers' parents. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That'd be like Liz taking out my parents.
Yes. Great example. Okay. Yes. First time she ever meets your parents.
You see how weird it is?
But at the same time, though, she's my wife and your parents know me. Ugh. Regardless, Jerry realizes that Aaron just did him a big favor, got his parents out of the house. So he calls Rachel to have her come over, but he got the machine. Rachel, where are you? Rachel.
Good impression. But he says in that message, he says, I got the place to myself for a few hours, Rachel. Rachel lives with her parents, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't they be able to detect Jerry's weak moral fiber by the message that he left?
That's true.
I'm sure her dad would hear that and be like, what a scoundrel.
That's a good point. Maybe they have like a... like 2 lines calling into their house, like she's got
a
her
two-way phone. Do we know why she lives with her parents?
We don't actually. Maybe similar situation to George. Maybe she just hasn't had a lot of work lately.
Well, she's trying to be an actress, right?
Is she?
Her character from Curb.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about her in a little bit then.
I'm sorry.
Well, Elaine, apologizes. Wish I could help you out. Very cute. We cut over to the Costanzas. Estelle is upset that the Seinfelds aren't coming. Doesn't understand. Hey, how could they have plans? They just got here. But Frank, interesting enough, Frank is the logical one here. He's like, I don't think they're lying. They're dear friends. Why wouldn't they like the Costanzas? And he's saying this just as he's trying some of Estelle's paella. Freaks out. It has too much pepper in it.
Oh, the noise he makes. He kind of smacks his lips together and throws his head back. Again with the pepper. He's going to set his mouth on fire. And then in a very Kramerican fashion, goes over to the sink and drinks directly from the tap.
Oh, okay. When you said Kramerican, I thought you meant like Kramerican Industries or...
No.
Okay.
But it's very Kramer-like, right? To go run to the faucet.
To the faucet, for sure.
I thought maybe he was having flashbacks of being a cook during the war.
This tracks, right? Especially in the fatigues when we find out he's not only an accomplished cook, but Estelle isn't the best cook in the world. Remember later in that episode, she's like, here's your omelet. And he's like, it sucks. Your meatloaf is mushy. Your salmon croquettes are oily. Eggplant parmesan, I think, is in there too.
It's a disgrace to this house.
Right. But George, of course, can't figure out why the Seinfelds don't like them. Well, we cut back to Jerry's apartment, and I guess a few hours have passed because Aaron and the Seinfelds return from their museum adventure. They're laughing. You can tell they had a really good time. Morty wonders if some of the impressionist painters like Monet were nearsighted. Nobody would paint like that, if they could see. It's all out of focus.
Well, he's probably from the impressionist school. Monet, Manet, Tippy Tippy Day Day. I don't get that joke. I like saying it, but I don't get it.
I'm right there with you, man.
Okay.
I don't get Tippy Tippy Day Day at all, but it's wonderful to quote.
Yeah.
And if anyone out there gets Tippy Tippy Day Day or what that is, please let us know.
Hello? Rachel. Yeah. No, they're back.
Jerry, if you have something to do, we can just sit right here and read.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry, too. Listen, I'll call you later. Okay, bye.
Well, I should be going.
Oh, thanks again.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hey. Oh, you must be Kramer. I've heard about you.
You must be Aaron. I've heard about you.
We'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. So, what are you guys doing for dinner, huh?
We have no plans.
Look at that, Helen. Do you see what he's wearing? That's the executive.
What is the executive?
The beltless trench coat. My father invented it.
I sure did. Raincoats were my business. The executive was a classic. These haven't been made in 20 years.
Why would they? Nobody bought them then.
He's wearing one.
Yeah, these are a hot item at Rudy's.
You don't say. You know, I have boxes of those sitting in my garage in Florida.
Get them up here. You give me 25%. I'll take care of everything.
You got a deal.
Yeah.
Well, this is like the meeting of Smith and Wesson.
So there's a very specific line in the clip we just heard that Matt and I like to repeat. The line uttered by Helen, "We could just sit right here and read." Every time, whenever you come and visit me or I come visit you guys, that line is making it out in the weekend.
The biggest thing to take away from this clip, though, is the executive, at least giving it a name, the beltless trench coat or the beltless raincoat. We hear this brought up in a previous episode. It was actually in the pony remark. Do you remember that?
I do. You know what my greatest moment was, right? 1946 when I went to work for Harry Fleming.
And he only mentions, Morty that is, only mentions the beltless trench coat. He never says the executive. I think this is
That's right.
the first time we hear the name. Mm-hmm. It's a bizarre concept.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of pleated pants or non-pleated pants. Sort of that's the concept behind beltless.
Okay. Flat front. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
I like it.
But
it's a good look. Kramer looks great.
But if I have a trench coat, don't you want to? Well, I guess you don't really want a belt necessarily. What am I saying? Morty's
it's his coat. It's his option.
Morty's going to call Jack Klompus. You know, they've got this idea cooking to sell these coats. Jack Klompus has a key to the Seinfeld's garage down in Florida. He can send the boxes containing all the coats overnight delivery, but Helen thinks he's crazy since, they're leaving in a few days.
I'll tell you how crazy I am. I want to pay for this whole trip with these coats.
No, I'm paying for the trip.
So much the better.
We didn't really set that up. Jerry is paying. This is like an anniversary gift.
Yeah, he's quite the good son. Mm-hmm. I'm shocked that the Seinfelds don't argue with him and, try and block him from paying for the trip.
Over money. Are the Seinfelds uncomfortable with Jerry ever spending money because they think he has problems saving?
We learn of that in the Cadillac, right?
Right.
Also, but there's other instances where they don't want Jerry picking up the meal. Don't worry about it, Jerry. I got it. Or Jerry buying his own gas. That I can pay.
Over my dead body, Jerry.
Don't start up with me. So it's kind of odd that Morty's willing to have Jerry spring for a trip to Paris.
Maybe the excitement of selling those trench coats, which have just been sitting in the garage for years now, that just gets him really, he has dollar signs in his eyes.
Big score.
But we cut over to Monk's, and interesting exterior. It's at night, but we're getting both sides of the restaurant. And the reason I bring this up is because the real Monk's restaurant says Tom's Restaurant at the top. Mm-hmm. And this time you can see this part that says Tom's Restaurant, but Tom's is literally blacked out. Anyways, George is telling Alec that he's leaving for Paris in 2 days. He feels terrible about Joey. Doesn't know how long he's going to be gone. Where's he going to stay, by the way?
The Eiffel Towers.
That's a good trivia question. I'm going to write that one down.
That is good.
George apologizes, though, mentions repeatedly how he's going to send a postcard. He brings that up a lot in this scene. But Alec looks pretty thrilled, actually.
George, you have no idea how fantastic this is.
Does that quote or the way the actor delivers it stick out to you?
It's very gooey and mushy, and he's elated that he's part of the Big Brother program. He's going to reunite Joey with his father, so it works out perfectly. But he's beaming.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy on my part. I always look at his mouth when he delivers it, because you just did it with your smile. You have no idea how fantastic this is. Just an interesting delivery. Turns out the Big Brother group has been trying to reunite Joey with his father, who lives in Paris. So it's a perfect solution for him to go with George.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. And then we cut over to Elaine's. Elaine's reading in bed, pretty annoyed, while Aaron just lays there. He's got both hands behind the head. talking about his fun day with Morty and Helen, and his reason is decent. They're from out of town. They thought he'd enjoy it. It's baffling, though. He had fun with two strangers more than twice his age.
Yeah. They bought me a Coke. If you didn't love Aaron now, you surely love him after one of the sweetest lines and delivery of a line. They bought him a Coke.
How can anyone not like Aaron?
That's why the Seinfelds love him.
Yeah, there's just something...
Even going back to the clip we played earlier when he met... You must be Kramer. And Kramer falls into the cabinets. He goes, you must be Aaron. I've heard a lot about you. Aaron kind of slaps his knees because he's so elated at meeting Kramer. Like, he's just a wholesome... He's like the male Toby. He's brimming with positivity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But much more likable than Toby.
We're back at Jerry's apartment, and the sofa's converted into the pull-out. Seinfelds are in the pajamas. They're in their nightie.
Oh, my.
Jerry and Morty are about to play a game of cards. This is very reminiscent of the stakeout.
Absolutely right. You come home, your parents are in your bed.
Different father this time, but, it's pretty close.
The father. Yeah.
Demeanor. I don't know why that made me laugh. Anyways, Morty's explaining the origin of the beltless trench coat to Kramer.
He came home one night and tripped over one of Jerry's toys. Meanwhile, Jerry motions to himself like, I was the impetus for this. So he took out his belt just to threaten him, and he got a glimpse of himself in the mirror.
How serendipitous.
So that night, he cut off the loops, and the executive was born.
What do you think that toy was that Morty tripped over?
Oh, it had to be like a toy Porsche or something, right?
Oh, that's an idea. I was going to argue an Army Pete.
Oh, man, you are on fire today.
Got nothing else going on in my life, Vinny. Jerry adds he also came up with the idea of a brimless rain hat, but that never materialized.
That's good fodder right there.
Another lovely side of Jerry when if he's not making fun of someone, he's cracking a joke. Like, he can't just have a serious conversation with someone.
He can't not be funny. He's so playful this episode.
So Morty decides once again to call Jack Klompus to overnight the coats. And while he does that, Helen brings up Schindler's List. Speaking of which, Vinny, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you have to go? You have to.
I'm going.
You have to.
Okay.
And there's a big back and forth here between Morty and Jack on the phone about overnighting the boxes. But eventually the message is clear to send them tomorrow. And on the other line, Jack and Doris just scoff at the idea of Morty selling those old crappy raincoats.
And I love how Doris is just jabbering on at him. You are not shipping those boxes up there, you know?
Yeah.
Is that later?
That might be the next scene. I have a clip for the next time we're with this insane couple.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, that is late.
But it is great how they bring back the actress who played Doris. She doesn't have much to do, but in this scene, she's just standing there like...
Annie, is she clicking her gum this time?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Annie Corson and Sandy Barron return as Doris and Jack Klompus.
We're at the Costanzas, and George is having breakfast with his parents. They're wondering if the Seinfelds are going to come over tonight.
You think they're coming tonight?
I don't know. They said maybe.
Of course they're coming. They're leaving soon. If they don't come tonight, they might not see us.
Well, they better come. I got all this paella.
I admire Morty and Helen going to France. We should take a trip. Maybe a cruise.
Yes, a cruise. A long cruise. Just the two of them.
Georgie, what were you doing poking around the attic last night?
I wasn't in the attic.
I heard noise.
Maybe it was a mouse.
Okay, that's it. We're moving.
What?
I will not tolerate infestation.
You haven't even seen one.
Don't you understand? The very thought, the very idea. I'll never be comfortable again.
All right, Frank, that's enough.
Two things I take away from that clip. I love Jerry Stiller's delivery of, I will not tolerate infestation, because he's got a full mouth of bagel as he delivers it. And then the just deflated Estelle. All right, Frank, that's enough. She just is out to lunch.
Mm-hmm. That gradual descent, too. Frank standing up and he just slowly sits down. It's like takes 5 seconds. Estelle keeps mentioning this, paella. Like George mentions the postcards. I guess she just says a lot of it, but
I still to this day have never had paella.
Let me tell you something, man. I had paella at a wedding maybe 5 years ago. This paella was dynamite. So good.
Was it a orgiastic feast for the senses, the way Kramer describes?
Yes. Well, let's cut over to Rudy's Antique Boutique. George is dropping off a few boxes of Frank's marked Cabana clothes. And George is really selling it here. He's been holding on to the clothes because he just couldn't accept that Dad was gone forever. But Rudy isn't too impressed by what he's seeing. Offers him $200, and isn't this great? George gets it bumped up to $225.
Well, come on, that was Dad's high score in bowling.
Yes, that's pretty clever.
Yeah, and it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Kramer enters wearing the executive, and he tells George, he makes the mistake here of telling George that he and Morty are going into business selling raincoats, which they discussed over a spur-of-the-moment dinner last night.
Well, Morty, he likes to fly by the seat of his vintage pants.
I don't know about you, but I love that line so much.
Yeah, that was another popular one you said. Mm-hmm. So many quotable lines in this episode.
Mm-hmm. It's just out of control. George is furious that the Seinfelds lied to him, and he storms out while Kramer is drawn to a pile of shirts, not realizing that they're Frank's shirts that George has dropped off.
Oh, I like these.
Hey, Frank's shirt. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, Frank's shirt. Billy Madison. Damn it, Billy.
What does Rudy call these shirts? They're
new. They're part of my springtime cruise collection.
And he marks them up to what, two for $25. Just ridiculous.
Mike Haggerty plays Rudy, and I absolutely love this actor. He's been in just a little bit of everything, but he's from Chicago, and he just reeks of being a Midwest guy. Mm-hmm. Very, very Chicago.
Like Judge Reinhold, big player, I feel like, in 80s and 90s comedies.
Yeah, and it just guest spots in almost every TV show you could think of. He was in Overboard, Wayne's World, So I Married an Axe Murderer, Stewart Saves His Family. He had a recurring role on The George Carlin Show. He was in Speed 2. He was in Austin Powers. Nuts!
Oh,
Get your spicy nuts!
Yes.
He was also on The Michael Richards Show, one episode, as well as the Amco, beep beep, guy in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
That's right.
He was in 7 episodes of Friends. He played Mr. Traeger. I think he was like either a building super or some sort of maintenance man in the building. But I didn't know this. I just learned this. Every time they refer to as ugly naked guy, across the way, there'd be a fat ugly naked guy.
I do know that, yeah.
Oh, I know because you detest the show. He was always uncredited as ugly naked guy. So whenever they poke the body, he's the naked guy.
Oh, that's interesting.
He was also in Lucky Louie, which was Louis C.K.'s first TV series on HBO.
There you go. I haven't seen him act recently.
I mean, he's in stuff. It's not nothing that I've managed to see, unfortunately.
Right. Well, it's great to see him in this episode and to know that he, double dips, quote unquote, in Seinfeld and Curb. So, he
tracks.
I like character actors that get to grace both shows for sure.
I'd even argue his role as the Amco guy is probably, to me, more well known than him as Rudy in Seinfeld.
I like the fact that he's in both shows for sure. That's great.
You know what I like to do?
Oh, I know what you'd like to do. What is it like? Find the poor son of a bitch who did this. Rip his heart out of his chest.
Heart out of his chest, so he could hold it in front of his face, so he could see how black it is before he dies.
Actually, I was thinking of just filing a suit with the union.
Well, the world's a twisted place.
We'll include that Wayne's World clip if I can find it in our show notes.
This is gold, people.
Well, Kramer tells Rudy, hey, I've got these boxes of 50 beltless trench coats. Are you interested in buying them?
Very interested.
Well, they're coming in from Florida as we speak.
We'll bring them in.
So you'll buy them?
I don't see what possibly could stop me.
And there's some little moths flying out of the cabana boxes that George just dropped off.
The flutter of moths.
Yeah, which I thought was fascinating to find out that effect was added in post. And I know they're small, you can't really tell. I just always assumed those were like
on a string?
Yeah, on a string or on a wire or something.
Dangly ones. So that's CG, huh?
Yeah, or whatever method they had at the time.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, we get an act break, and we cut over to Jerry's apartment. We're just going to jump right into the scene. Jerry's in the kitchen. George storms in.
They had plans, huh? They were busy. They were busy with their big plans, huh?
What are you talking about?
Mom and Pop Seinfeld.
Look, I don't know.
All right, I happen to know what they did last night. They had dinner with Kramer.
Oh, they were tired. It was a last-minute thing.
So what's the deal? They don't want to have dinner with my parents?
That's right.
Is there something wrong with my parents?
Absolutely.
Because my parents happen to be two pretty wonderful people.
These are the same people you currently live with?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So are they coming tonight or not?
Look, I really don't know what their plans are.
Okay. Fine. It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting if they don't show up tonight. You know my mother made all this paella?
What is that, anyway?
It's a Spanish dish. It's a melange of fish and meat with rice. Very tasty.
I'll tell them.
Hey, could you do one other thing for me?
Name it.
Do you think your parents would have any objections to taking a little kid to Paris with them? It turns out that the kid's father lives in Paris. Is that a coincidence? Alec wants me to take him over there, so I figure as long as they're going...
So you thought as long as they're mailing postcards, it wouldn't be too much to ask my parents to drag a child who they've never seen through the streets of Paris?
All right, if you think it's too much, they don't have to mail the postcards.
That's some nerve of George to go after the Seinfelds with that much vigor and then request that favor right at the tail end of it. But it is George Costanza we're talking about.
Love that last line, too. All right, if it's too much, they don't have to mail the postcards. That's great. And I like the anger.
Rage.
The rage. Whoa, what is that, anyways? Oh, it's a Spanish dish.
Yeah, he completely switches demeanors again.
Oh, man.
Kind-hearted soul he is.
So I don't have too many notes on that scene. I figured we could move on to Pendant. Those bastards. Elaine's in her office telling her coworker, what's this girl's name again?
Joanne.
Joanne. This is Elaine. Elaine's in her office talking to Joanne about her upcoming date with Aaron. She's going to take the afternoon off. They're going to go see a matinee, My Fair Lady. And then they're going to go to dinner. And Joanne thinks Elaine is just such a lucky girl, wishes she could find a nice guy. Like, Aaron just shows up out of nowhere.
He creeps in a little bit from the side.
Real sidler. He says hi, and he practically, it's hard to describe, but he pretty much forces her, like, against the door, right?
Well, the one person he's supposed to have that close a contact with, he still overdoes it with Elaine. And he forces her into the wall.
And the
actress starts to make out.
The actress playing Joanne is just like kind of frightened, like, oh. Anyways, Aaron and Elaine embrace when suddenly...
Hello, hello! Hello, Elaine!
I was able to finagle 2 more tickets to My Fair Lady, and I thought, why not ask Morty and Helen?
Great! This is some office. What's the square footage?
You don't mind, do you, Elaine?
Mind? Oh, of course not.
We can make a whole day of it.
This is some building. Harry Fleming used to have an office here. There was a deli on the first floor. You don't get corned beef like that anymore. What happened to that deli?
I really don't know, Mr. Seinfeld.
Oh, another wonderful Morty run there. He always speaks of the old days with such reverence. Here's my spinoff idea. Let's do a comedy, a black and white comedy set in the 1940s. Ooh. A young Morty Seinfeld goes to work for Harry Fleming as a raincoat salesman in New York. And I'd like to call it Cheap Fabric and Dim Lighting.
Okay.
What do you think, huh?
I like it. That works.
Are people buying it?
You shouldn't be selling it.
Damn.
I agree with you, though, that last portion with Morty, just kind of, reminiscing, looking into the distance.
They don't make corned beef like that anymore.
Whatever happened to that deli?
I really don't know, Mr. Seinfeld.
Yes. She's just so annoyed. Oh, boy. And then we get this wonderful montage here of, first of all, it's set to, is it the song called I Could Have Danced All Night?
Sure.
Okay,
I'm sure.
I'm very sorry for My Fair Lady fans, but
Snobs over here.
I Could Have Danced All Night is playing. I definitely think it's a Jonathan Wolfe studio cover.
Yeah.
This doesn't sound like anything, from like an actual performance, but it's just a perfect song to have set to the shots of Morty, Helen, Elaine, and Aaron in the audience watching the musical, and Morty's just opening a huge candy bar, chowing down, offering it to Elaine, and then leaning over, giving it to Aaron. Sort of channeling inner Kramer there, don't you think, with Kramer and the turkey jerky?
Perhaps you'd like a bite or a pull.
Take a pull, yeah. Then we cut over to a French cafe. Elaine is stuck in the booth between Morty and Helen. And they're discussing like the paintings with vigor. Well, you're gonna love this. I never picked up on that. That's a Monet on the wall.
Oh, beautiful.
So yeah, Morty gets really excited. He takes off his glasses and he's just lecturing to Elaine about probably how Monet was nearsighted. Then we cut over to George getting in a taxi cab. Meanwhile, a handsome cab rides by with none other than Aaron, Elaine, and the Seinfelds, and he's pretty pissed.
That's not Rusty in front of the handsome cab, is it?
Let's say it is.
Rusty!
Something funny, too, from an audio level is this montage doesn't have any sound in it. It's just the song over these images. But there is a little bit of Foley sound when Aaron pops the champagne.
Oh, yeah?
You hear like a little...
Oh, cool.
It's really cute. You would never see a montage like this in those earlier seasons. I'm glad they're getting into it.
I agree. Again, the show is kind of exploring its boundaries, and it's not zany by any means, but it's still a nice introduction for them to have a musical montage in the show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We cut over to Jerry's apartment once again, and Jerry, in a very familiar situation here, he's on the couch making out with his girlfriend. This is Rachel Goldstein, actually. Right? We'll find out.
Kind of hot and heavy. Yeah, it's kind of hot and heavy.
Whew. Yeah, they're really into it. Remember we criticized that one makeout session with what's her name, Tawny, the blonde girl. With the cat, and how
you were so good at your kissing. Yeah,
it's kind of an icky makeout scene. This one is, man,
it's getting up in there.
Mm-hmm. They're really into it. Jerry pulls away though because his parents are coming back any second now. They're leaving in 2 days, so all Jerry and Rachel have to do is wait until Thursday, 3:00. That great in sync moment when they kind of pull their hair back,
Mm-hmm. Just pure frustration.
We're not getting much of Rachel at the moment, but what do you think of her? Do you like her as a Jerry girlfriend? Does she rank up there?
No, she's not going to crack any girlfriend list of mine of Jerry's. Especially, nothing against the actress Melanie Smith who plays Rachel, but we just had Courtney Cox just knock it out of the park with Meryl last week, who's just a vision.
There's a Friends thing there with Courtney Cox playing Monica on Friends. Here's a girlfriend named Rachel. Is there something?
Oh, and Mike Haggerty played Mr. Trigger on Friends for 7 episodes.
There you go.
But I actually like this actress Melanie Smith more as a character she plays in Curb, in the Incest Survivor episode.
Yes. Well, speaking of which, do you want to go over her rap sheet?
Absolutely. Melanie Smith plays Rachel Goldstein. She's been in As the World Turned. She was in Silk Stockings, Beverly Hills 90210. Melrose Place. She was in 5 episodes. 3 episodes of Seinfeld, The Raincoats, The Hamptons, and The Opposite. I definitely like her appearances in the upcoming episodes. She's going to have much more to work with and get to mix it up with more characters as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to that. She's also been in Star Trek Deep Space Nine for 6 episodes, and she was in Peter Melman's show, It's Like You Know. She played a character called Maggie in 1 episode.
Oh, there you go.
Her last acting credit was in Gotham, the series, in 2009.
Oh, I was thinking of the...
Not the TV show that's currently on. No, sir.
Well, you mentioned she's in 3 episodes, The Raincoats, The Hamptons, and The Opposite. I think she is the longest-running girlfriend.
That's 3 episodes. You're right. That's a good point.
Or at least she appears in the most episodes.
Because we have Vanessa, who's in 2 to start the series.
Mm-hmm. I mean, technically, Marla Penny was in 3 episodes, but she only dates Jerry for 2 of them.
Right. The finale is always a crapshoot. That's more of just a tribute to those that grace the screen throughout the series. I don't like to count that one.
Right. But I think there's something to be said about Rachel being a long-term girlfriend. For me, at least, she's not my number 1, but she definitely ranks in my top 10.
Yeah. Oh, get out of here.
Well, there's something about it, and this is like with Sidra, the tight jeans, the tight black shirt, the long dark hair, the cleavage. It's just this, I mean, it sounds creepy, but it's just this really smoking look that they can pull off on Seinfeld for some reason.
It's 90s hot, too, because it's like the light colored jeans, and they wear them really high on the waist. Mm-hmm. We don't even know how Rachel and Jerry came to be a couple. They're already kind of in the midst of their relationship, right?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So they never go on a first date.
No. I wonder how they met. I mean, there is a joke later in the series, you break up with a new girl every week. Mm-hmm. Where does he meet these women? And he did say, too, 3 weeks he's been out of town. So he's been with this girl for at least a month.
You're right.
Come on.
That's a lot of staying power for JS.
The Seinfelds enter the apartment, just as Rachel and Jerry are just, shutting down production. And the Seinfelds are kind of caught off guard by Jerry and Rachel. They feel really awkward. They offer to head out, drive around for a while, take a bus. Morty will bring a book. But Rachel's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. She leaves. But as she steps out, she and Jerry establish that they have plans to see Schindler's List later that night. And unfortunately not get into the Schindler's List arc until our next episode, part 2.
Are we out of time? Do we have enough time?
There's no time. They're not going to make it. But we can't finish up these remaining scenes here. We've got Jerry finds out that Aaron took his parents to see My Fair Lady, and he's pretty amused that Elaine was there as well.
He knows his friends so well. He can, just like George, he can sense the slightest suffering. He knows that Elaine was probably just miserable that this whole night having Aaron parade the Seinfelds around New York.
Oh, Elaine
I love
was
that.
there. Morty, though, saw Regis Philbin get out of a limousine.
He looks better on TV.
Which we'll find out in a couple of episodes.
He's Bunko!
Anyways, the phone rings.
Hello?
Hello, Jerry.
Yeah.
It's Jack Klompus.
Oh, hi, Jack.
So when you coming down to Florida again?
As soon as is humanly possible.
You know, I still got that pen, the one that writes upside down.
Yeah. I should have kept it.
So where's your father?
Oh, he's right here. Yeah?
Hello, Morty. Listen, I can't get in the garage.
What do you mean?
There is something wrong with the key. The key doesn't work.
You gotta jiggle it a little bit.
I jiggled it. I jiggled it for 15 minutes.
Tell him to come down here and get his own packages. You have nothing better to do than to worry about his boxes.
You gotta pull on the knob as you turn it.
Get the hell out of here with your knob.
What from you?
My idiot son could open that garage door.
What did I do?
Just do it first thing tomorrow. I need it. They'll be here first thing Thursday morning.
Thursday morning? You know we're leaving at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, you're leaving at 3 o'clock.
How are you going to get all this done in time?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, how are you going to get all this done in time?
I wanted to use this audio clip, not the previous Jack clip, because I just love this. The bickering between Morty and Jack. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Not only is the pen mentioned, but this back and forth is... It's like we never left that season 3 episode, the pen.
You're absolutely right. It seems like these guys are only friends out of necessity, that they happen to be neighbors. I don't see any reason as to, other than their location, why they would be friends, right? They seem to really despise each other.
Didn't you feel that way with some friends growing up? When you were a kid, you had no choice really who your friends were because you went to school together or you grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, it's almost as if Jack Klompus is Morty's Joel Hornick,
right.
If you recall back to Mail on Bonding.
There's this weird middle ground when you're, I don't know, in your 20s to, I don't know what, say your 50s or 60s where you have a choice on who your friends are.
Listen, Jack, I'd love to play, but I got to go home now.
Yeah. Did you notice, too, that Sandy Barron lost a lot of weight?
And his hair is darker.
Ah, didn't know
He died. They sprayed his hair with silver back in the Penn episode. Remember to age him, but now he's much thinner and he's got his natural hair color.
Right. This is the look though of Jack Klompus. I think we're used to.
And he's got that tracksuit on, which is very cool.
Right. But yeah, I mean, what else can be said about this scene? Just the back and forth is just wonderful. And I love the fact that Doris isn't really adding to the conversation. She's just there to be angry.
She's irate. She's pissed at Morty for tell him to come down here and get his own boxes.
You have nothing better to do than to worry about his boxes. But the big takeaway is that Morty and Helen might be around longer than expected, getting in the way of Jerry and Rachel, so we'll see. But we cut over to the Costanzas, and George is flipping out, telling his parents about spotting the Seinfelds drinking champagne in a buggy. And it's funny, too. I wonder if this is when Frank develops like his animosity towards Elaine.
It very well could be.
Did we bring that up in another episode? Something happened with Frank?
He always thought she was supercilious.
The TV Guide.
Ah, there it is. This is strike 2.
This is the next blow that he'll hold against her maybe later in the show. You know, George is just so full of shit here. The thing that bothers him the most
is the lying.
Yeah, Jason really sells that. Frank wants to forget about it since he and Estelle are going on a cruise together.
Is he the cooler of the two Costanzas?
Doesn't he seem oddly, well, I mean, in a few seconds here, he's going to freak out over the the remote. But when it comes to his emotions towards the Seinfelds, he seems to be in check. It's bizarre.
He's really keeping it together.
Mm-hmm. But since they're going on a cruise together, Frank needs his vacation clothes, his cabana wear, wasn't in the attic.
How can he go on a cruise without cabana wear? He loves those clothes.
He really stumbles over that line too. It's like those clothes.
Yeah.
Anyways, Frank freaks out seeing a mouse. It's the remote. He like runs into the back room. And as Frank stands there just yelling, "Where the hell are my clothes? I love those clothes." We cut to the alley outside of Rudy's.
Lousy moth-ridden crap.
And there's Rudy burning boxes of clothes. Not just anyone's clothes, but they're Frank's.
If you guys listen to that line closely, that's not Rudy delivering that line or Mike Haggerty. That is Larry David. The scene was shot without dialogue, and then Larry David went back and looped the line in as Rudy in post-production so that we could all just make sure we knew he was burning the moth-ridden cabana clothes of Frank Costanza.
Did you think that was necessary? I mean, can you imagine this scene without the dialogue?
I could, but I do love the line, "Lousy moth-ridden crap." So I'm glad it's there, you know. I trust LD's ship, so onward and upward.
Right.
I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night.
This is going to do it for us here on part 1 of the Raincoats, and we'll finish up part 2 tomorrow.
For now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off.
I could have spread my wings and done 1,000 things.
Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.